7 reasons why you shouldn't buy a high-end designer handbag. So over the last 2 odd years, I've actually put a lot of money into designer handbags. And it's mainly because during lockdown from you know what, funds from entertainment, dining out, travel, they pretty much got diverted to things that we wouldn't usually buy, such as designer handbags for me, and also shoes and clothes. I dabbled in a bit, and now I'm kind of like coming back to clothes, and I've kind of hit pause a little on designer stuff. And I've been through this emotional roller coaster of owning, acquiring, researching designer handbags, and I thought I'd just kind of record this on a whim and share reasons why you don't want to go down that designer handbag path if you've just started, or you thought about it for a long time, or maybe you're going through the same thing as me. I'd love to hear from you to see if anything is relatable. Give this video a like, right? And let me know. So I'm gonna pick 7. So 7 reasons. So reason number 1 is the price. So they have gone up a lot due to inflation, due to supply issues, due to lack of tourism, certain countries, and all these other reasons. So the price has gone up. There's all sorts of reasons, right? It's not just the stuff you see on the surface. There's underground, behind the scenes stuff behind companies raising their prices for whatever reason. And if your income is not increasing at the same rate or above inflation, then it's gonna feel like a big deal. So unless you really love something, it's gonna be tricky to justify buying a handbag. So price is number 1. Number 2 is, let's see, I think it's something to do with, you don't know what you're gonna get with a handbag. You don't truly know the experience until you have it. So unless you've borrowed it or rented it for a while, for instance, until you've bought it, you've paid for it, and you've taken it home, used it for a few months or whatever, you don't really know what it's like. So the cost it takes to acquire the item, and then not realizing the true pros and true cons of it until you use it in your lifestyle, to make sure it integrates well, it's hard to know. So there's a not knowing, right? So unless maybe you can find a bag that's like not as expensive and not necessarily a luxury high-end brand, that's sort of relatable, you don't know whether you're going to enjoy using it or not. So maybe don't put yourself through that hassle. I know a couple of things that I didn't realize until I started using my designer bags is things like, it actually doesn't fit things the way I wanted them to fit. Because you get excited the moment you buy it, and then you can't really do the test until you've had it. Another thing is okay, that's one. I'm gonna move on. Second one is you get really precious about your bags. Okay, so I'm just talking about my own experience. You get really precious. So I realized that while I love the idea of the bag, and having it be expensive does give you a perk. You do feel a bit, ooh about it, which is, I reckon, totally fine. But the thing is, you've paid so much, and then a lot, it's special, it's it might be unique design, you don't want to ruin it because you've put a lot of effort to acquiring it, and you don't want to damage it. So you have to be really careful. You have to baby it. I mean, not everyone babies it, but I don't want to ruin these bags because of the value, and plus I want to keep things in good condition, not necessarily for resale value, but I just want to keep them well because I really adore and appreciate its beauty. So then you gotta maintain it a certain way, right? So you have to kind of baby your bag, and that's it can get stressful if you're worried about damaging your bag all the time. Okay, so hopefully this is gonna make sense. So number 4 is maintenance and storage. I'll chuck that into one. So you have to maintain a certain way to not damage it, not ruin it, have it be exposed to moisture and potentially mold. You want to lay it in the right way. You don't want itself to dent itself. You don't want it to damage itself. And then it takes space, and you either want to display it in a nice cabinet, ideally, or keep it in a dust bag. But when you put it in the dust bag, you can't see it. And then you want to keep the things that it came with, like the accessories and maybe the box, the dust bag, the shopping bag it came in, and that takes up space. So you need to have a place for that. It's not just the bag itself. And then maintaining, you want to keep it clean, and so just you want to take care of it like an appliance, so it doesn't get damaged. So it's like the more you invest, the more you have to invest afterwards to upkeep it. So that can get annoying and time consuming, and half the time you might not even know what you're doing. Okay, number five. Number five. You get you can feel guilty. So I know I kind of do, because I spent so much money on just one bag, and the reality is that money could have gone to feed a whole village in a developing country probably. And you're like, oh, how can I justify spending this much money while other people have less, And this contrast might have been highlighted to you during the pandemic, when people were struggling with their work or not having enough food on the table, and experiencing illness, worry, stress, loneliness. Yet here I am splurging on a designer handbag. So you gotta be confident in your decision, and you gotta accept that what you're doing means you're not doing something else. And it's not necessarily bad, because you get to choose how you live your life. But you might feel guilty, and I haven't fully accepted it, acknowledged it myself. I still feel it here and there, but there's an opportunity to just accept it and not make it mean anything bad about yourself. And if you want, you can take other actions, like have the bag, but also do other things that make you feel good to kind of neutralize it, I guess. Okay, reason number 6 is you get self-conscious when wearing a designer bag out, and you might feel I think what I've done is subconsciously I'm judging people because I think they're judging me about carrying a designer handbag and spending so much money. So with that, depending on where I'm going, I might not want to carry a flashy bag. I don't want to draw that attention to myself. But then also oh, it's so precious. It should see the light of day. It wants to be loved. It wants to be used. But what's funny is when I see people carrying designer handbags, I don't think that about them. I think that, oh, wow, look at that cool handbag. Look at that amazing handbag. Oh, look, that's a Chanel handbag. And I'm in admiration mode. Yet when I carry a bag, other people are thinking negative thoughts about me. So it's just something I have to deal with within my own head, and just kind of get over or accept, or not even care. Okay, reason number 7 is, I had another reason, but it's kind of tied to the previous reason, is people don't understand. People outside the game of acquiring designer goods, people don't understand why you pay so much. And for me, what I realized is I've hunted for bags, more contemporary bags that are not necessarily as well known or famous. And I try to find the caliber of bag that you might find in a high-end designer handbag, and it's a damn struggle. And I realized the gap between ordinary bags and high-end bags, the level of quality and excitement and originality, it doesn't jump that much, but the price does, because there's almost nothing in between. So for me, I a big thing that I value in designer handbags is the creativity and the beauty. And there's people who are just not going to understand. Like my husband, he kind of gets it, and you know, I share with him what my thoughts and experience and feelings are about it. But at the end of the day, he's like, wow, you're paying so much money for a handbag. And it kind of doesn't logically make sense or stack up to him. But you know, he has an aspirational dream to own like a $200,000 car. And to me, like, I sort of get it, but not fully. So I think you got to realize and own your hobby. So you're kind of looking at fashion and designer stuff as a hobby. And so you gotta just realize it's your own thing. It's your own personal self-expression. Like fashion is my personal self-expression, and it's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. So you just gotta be like, you know, whatever your opinion is, you're entitled to it, and you're right in your own view, and I'm right in my own view. So sometimes you might have to deal with that, and it could be a bit funny or awkward. Yeah, so that's 7 reasons not to get a designer handbag if you don't want to deal with all those things. There's definitely more. I just can't think of them right now. But let me know if you have reasons to not get a designer handbag. I'd love to hear from you. They'd be kind of funny. And I'm sharing this and I'm laughing because there's going to be the ones that, despite all these reasons, we're still going to choose to play the game because of the excitement, the thrill, or whatever reasons you value when you know, being a part of this little world and being an enthusiast of this space. And it is what it is. Anyways, thank you so much. Please subscribe and follow me for more fashion related kind of videos, or if you just appreciate my quirkiness. And yeah, I'll see you next time.